We are live. It is 3:03 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:03 GMT in the United Kingdom. Couldn't make it. Nomad Tech Project, Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this first day of March.
It is indeed.
March is coming. I have family coming home right in the middle of the intro, so I'm trying to get through the dogs. You know what? I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to let them bark.
It's live, mate. That's what happens.
It's live, mate. That's what happens. We're live.
You've got a family, which includes dogs. It's okay.
Right. Two crazy ones. So anyway, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention or not. We had, I guess, the Samsung event kind of went off. Everybody's cool. All that good stuff. And got the S25 Ultra and I guess just a plus. No plus. Just I guess a vanilla 26. There's a plus. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't, again, see, I'm not even prepared. I didn't pay attention. I'm not actually interested in all. Well, it's because it's the same thing every year. And I actually haven't had a Samsung slab device since I think the last one I owned was the S22 Ultra. I think. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. I haven't used it for a while. So yeah, I haven't really been paying much attention. And with Samsung, it's coming up. The folds are coming out. There's tons of leaks now. Again, these Unpacked events are great, I guess, for like influencers and tech media, and it's cool because everybody gets together. But the way these phones get leaked now with all the specs and all the speculations, especially with Samsung devices, it kind of like, I don't say it defeats the purpose because clearly we're not involved because we're podcasters. I don't know. I just have no interest in watching unless it's something that's
the privacy stuff. We knew, didn't we? We knew about the privacy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people talked about it, and now you can see it, in the reel, which is kind of cool. And I think that's a really kind of cool feature. And honestly, I think it depends on who you are, right? Again, this is how it always is, right? Depending on who you are, that might be an upgrade that you want to do. Now, if you want to have a privacy screen and you want to do all that, you could always just apply one. I've had one before. The problem is it's on all the time, right? Instead of being situational, whatever. I think people, if you're focused on privacy, this may be your jam. And if you're not, you don't care.
On the wording, right?
Stay with the S25.
Sam, the wording privacy and privacy, it's said differently.
Yeah.
Again, that's another.
It's said differently. Yeah. It's one of those little. Yeah. It's not. I'm not British, so I don't say it like privacy. I say privacy. Most Americans say it that way.
Well, actually, a lot
cool.
A lot of people in the UK say it the way you do as well. Yeah.
Well, and I wonder what the difference is. Why the variance in the UK? Is it because they're like younger people or maybe older people say it the privacy way, or is it younger people don't say it that way? I'm curious because nobody in the United States, no American says privacy. Nobody. So
no, it's just
I'm curious why. Right, but I'm curious in the UK why some people say it the way Americans say it, and some
probably watch a lot of American
gender.
TV.
Is it?
No, a lot of American TV. Yeah.
Right. Well, I still prefer the word takeaway instead of carry out. I kind of like the way the way British people talk about it. It's a takeaway. The Chinese, right? Takeaway. I kind of like the way it's said. Right. We're gonna get a Chinese. Like that's cool. Yeah. Like I like the way that's phrased as opposed to. I guess they would do carry out, like Chinese carry out, Chinese deliver, or Chinese food. People in the United States they say Chinese food, or actually in St. Louis, so in St. Louis they have a different kind of weird thing with the Chinese restaurants in St. Louis. We have what's called the St. Paul sandwich, and if you can Google it if you want to look it up what it is, basically. But a lot of the places like in the city of St. Louis that are like in like more urban areas, they call it like either the Chinaman, or which is not a great term, or it always says chop suey. It's like the place says Waz chop suey, right? Or what it doesn't say, which is interesting because it's just like one dish to call a whole restaurant based on. It's kind of weird, but I see it all the time. And when I grew up as a kid, that's what people I would know would say. Hey, we're going to go to the Chinaman. We're going to take, we're going to carry out, or we're going to go to the chop suey place. It was said Waz chop suey, literally on the sign. That's what it said. So I just think it's kind of interesting how there's little differences, but I do like the takeaway. And then somebody just, instead of saying we're going to get Chinese food, like we're going to get a Chinese, like just like it just cuts right to it. Right. You know exactly what we're going to get we're going to get a whatever the food is Yeah, we're gonna get an Indian, we're gonna get a Chinese, we're gonna get a whatever, a Korean, like whatever. They just say the word. It's just kind of cool how the phrasing is different.
Well, it's not said for all cuisines. So if you're getting pizza, you'd say pizza. You wouldn't say Italian.
Well, no, I guess now do they have like? I guess because Italian food is more like a sit down kind of restaurant. Do they have like because in the United States we have like I don't know if you've heard of Fazoli. They have like fast food. Yeah, they have like a fast food. It's called like Fazoli's. It's like real Italian. It's almost like we're trying to do like a fast food Italian. I mean, but still pasta. You can't just like it's like a burger.
Yeah, it's basically only pizza, really.
Right. So you just go, we get the pizza, which is cool. Yeah. Do they have like, so how the pizza joints work? Like what's the style? Can you get all styles of pizza in the UK, or is it just a specific kind?
It depends on the takeaway themselves. I mean, some could do a thin base, some don't.
Right.
Some do a stuffed crust, some don't.
So but I'm saying like, in St. Louis, like, you can get St. Louis style, which is that real cracker thin emos. Or you can get a Chicago, which is like a deep dish, cheese on top, sauce on top.
Pan, yeah.
Or you get like a Detroit, which is like a deep dish, but they cut it like quarters, so you have like 2 ends and 2 corners, and it's kind of like a thicker.
Okay.
Yeah, there's different kinds in different parts of the United States, and then
seems
New
like
York
there's
style,
more nuance to pizza in the US,
right? And then you have New York style, which is that real super wide piece, but it's really thin, so you have to if you try to pick it up, the slice would just fold, so you have to fold it in half. Right, and eat it kind of that way because it's just the crust is too thin and it's kind of doughy. I don't know, just a different. I don't know. So yeah, privacy. So you have a privacy screen.
Right? Privacy screen, yeah. So going back to that, right? A lot of people were saying about how it's very much the same as S25 Ultra, but it's not really. When you think that privacy screen is really good innovation, in my opinion, and some people poo-pooing on it is a bit silly, really, because. That's at hardware level that they're doing that, and I'm quite impressed myself. Personally, I think it's very, very good, and it's something that a lot of people do actually want. I get asked daily if we do privacy screen protectors. We don't, sadly, but people do want that, so it's good. I think it's brilliant from Samsung,
especially if you're in a situation like with me. I'm not really worried about it so much because I'm not riding mass transit. I'm not in a bus, not in a, like. And then when I'm at work, I'm in my own cubicle. So, and obviously if I'm driving, my wife can see what I'm looking at. I don't really care. There's nothing there. Yeah. So there's times, I guess, when I'm at a sporting event or whatever, where I may want to use that. But honestly, it'd be kind of nice to have that because that way, if I'm in those situations where I know I'm going to be going to like a baseball game, because I know for a fact I've been to baseball games or football matches or soccer or hockey or whatever, or it's you're just at an event that's not sports related and there's people sitting behind you and people sit like a movie theater, right? I don't want people looking over my shoulder because I tell you right now, I mean, I'm sitting in the movie theater and I don't really necessarily pay attention. I don't try to read what people are doing, but I see they're on Facebook or on Instagram, whatever. And if you're doing something or if you're saying a message to somebody, you don't want somebody over your shoulder reading the message, especially if you're doing something maybe work related, responding to an email from work. I don't know, a lot of people do it on their personal phone, but it's good to have the option. But I kind of like the hardware base just because you can actually use it when you need it and turn it off when you don't. So it can be very situational. I think that's now the rest of the phone. Yeah, I know people were I think there was something about the charge cycles. Now it's down to 1,200 charge cycles.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah,
that's bad. But I mean, how many people do you actually know? I don't know many that keep their phone they're going to keep it for 7. And this is where we run into that problem, right? Well, they promised 7 years of software support. Yeah, but you're going to go through 1,200 charge cycles.
That's quite bad. That I got to say, you want to see improvements, not things going backwards. So that one I'm not too impressed with. And that's where they've cut some costs, isn't they?
Well, and we're still in this situation where we're with the phone that we haven't changed battery technology. We haven't really. That innovation is great on the display side, but again, here we are again with them not. It's the battery situation again, and I think they're getting. Personally, and now that I've used other phones that have different kind of battery technologies and Super VOOC charging, I'm telling you, man, it's like night and day. I can't imagine going back to. It's not cool. And Americans just basically you have 3 choices: Apple, Samsung, and Google. Then you're stuck. If they give you basically charging speeds that kind of suck, well, then you just get what you get. You know, I just don't think a lot of people are keeping a phone for 7 years, maybe 4, maybe
Yeah.
5. And here's the thing, if you have an iPhone, you can go into an Apple store and it's really easy, to switch a battery out. But I don't know how easy that is on a phone like Samsung. There's no Samsung stores that I know of.
There is in the UK, yeah, and they do a door service as well. I think, which is meant to be quite good. What I will say, people don't tend to keep their phones that long, and if they do, they could, like Steve said, they could actually get the battery replaced, I guess.
Yeah, and absolutely, and then it's going to be down to how do you get that battery serviced. There's there's Apple stores everywhere where in the malls and stuff. But for people who have like a Samsung or another phone, you may not get it. I just wish that the fact that there's battery technology out there now, and I think we're kind of in the position where we have silicon carbide and we have faster charging and everything else. And I don't hear. I mean, you work in the industry where you have a lot more phones that have that, like the Vivos and the Honors and those. I haven't heard of many,
but yeah.
Right? Or just, obviously other than the big three, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen or really heard reports of massive battery failure on those phones.
No, there isn't.
We're only a year or two in, so maybe.
No, I think we're further in than that. I think the phones have had silicon carbon for a bit longer than that.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't heard of massive failures. I realize that Shane Craig was talking about how they basically grow and shrink and grow and shrink, and that's obviously a problem when it comes to everything else. But and that would be nice. I don't think they do it in the U.S., which is hilarious because the United States, you would think that they would have it. Maybe they do, and maybe but you have to be in a major city, and I don't live in New York and Washington D.C. and Los Angeles and everything else. I don't live in those places. I live in a smaller city, and I also live in a rural area.
They'd probably send you out a Jiffy bag with like packaging, and you could send it to them.
Yeah, that's probably what I do. I would probably contact Samsung and say, hey, but if you get your phone through a carrier store, then if you don't have that, you basically have to pay out of pocket, which is fine. I mean, I don't know how much a battery replacement is, but yeah, I mean, in 3 years, if you have to switch out your battery because you want to keep your phone.
Problem is, how many people actually do that? I think the vast majority just upgrade, don't they?
Well, especially if they're at a carrier store. And again, and to Steve's point, this may be why they don't really have that service in the United States, because people aren't really replacing their batteries like that. They're just.
I mean, they're not in the UK much either. I mean, it would be good if people were doing that, but it's just easier for them to upgrade. And with the interest-free choices from networks, it's they feel like,
unless you really like the phone, but I guess it comes down to it the same thing, right? If you buy a car and you keep the car and you pay it off, as opposed to you buy a car and you drive it 3 or 4 or 5 years and you trade it in, instead of a lot of people, they want to pay the car off and they're just going to keep driving it and they'll make the repairs on it and pay the extra money, but they don't have to make a payment, but they get a car that's paid off, and it might be older, it might not have all the technical, logical little gizgos and good dads and all the things you got, right? But you don't have a car payment. So, but you have to figure out, well, okay, I don't have a car payment. It's out of warranty now because it's got 125,000 miles and it's a 10-year-old car. However, now if I have a transmission failure, well, now I'm out $4,000, right? Okay, well now it's like, it comes down to, and then do I want to spend the money? Is it worth it? If I spend this money on this car, then it becomes where it's to sit down and really think about. Granted, it's a car, a vehicle, not necessarily a phone, but there are some analogs to that. And I just don't think a lot of people are keeping their phones long. So.
More needs to be done with the amount of phones that are going in landfills, though. It is a huge problem. The fact that phones come out from everyone new every year, it's crazy, isn't it? Really, like nothing. We spoke about that, didn't we, the other day, about how they're skipping their flagship this year, and I think that's a good move. It's good for the environment as well.
Right. I mean, and just I've always argued too that it's great that they've offered these 7-year cycles, for stuff. But
it's great.
I would argue that you can probably go with a 18-month or a 2-year upgrade cycle, right? Based on the next, and Samsung comes out with all these phones and they have all their updates, and then they don't release another phone until 2028. Then it's the S27 Ultra. And now it's 2 years on, and then now, but they're just not going to do it because there's too much money in it. And I get it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's I had the thing with my Duo. It took, I think, the difference between, I think the time, and I have to check on it, from the original Duo to the Duo 2. I think it was 18 months, might be 19 months. So it wasn't available next year, and I was perfectly okay with that. Obviously, you want the phone. Obviously, you wanted the phone faster. It kind of stinks when you have to wait on the back end of that, but. I don't know. Well, let's just see. And I guess Mobile World Congress is starting. Is that next week? I guess
that's fully. You really haven't looked at anything, have you?
No, I've been. I had. Yeah. So I've seen the people fly. People flying to Barcelona. That's the only reason I know anything's going on, because everybody that I know that I follow is on a plane somewhere. And David Kogan, I think that dude should just buy a fucking G5. Just buy your own goddamn plane, dude. You're on a plane literally every week.
Yeah, they all are, aren't they?
Yeah. Fucking buy your own goddamn plane. And quit flying commercial, right? Learn how to fly your own
They don't need to, because they get their flights paid for them anyway. So
right, but I'm just saying, it's just like, honest to God, I mean, I think that is one of the other reasons why I'm just like, I could not in the 100 be a full-time YouTuber and do what some of these people do. To be on a goddamn plane every other week or at once a week, flying to this thing, flying to that thing, going here, going there.
I love it. I love it.
I guess that's the difference. Maybe I'm old, and maybe I just don't want to do all that. But just that flying all the time and stuff, it's being on a plane. And he's got and he's got a coffee shop, so that's in Manhattan or where it's in New York, so that's cool. I don't know. It seems like these guys are always on a flight somewhere, and they're always flying around somewhere. Again, it's they're getting paid for it. They're getting flown out by these companies and doing the thing, but that's great.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'd
love to go Barcelona for MWC, but I'm not big enough.
It's one of those things that I would like to do once, just to do it, get it out, and just experience it, and then. But again, I'm not in the industry, right? I don't want it, and also I don't really want to be in the industry. I just like
that's an observation of mine, Sam. So like when I went to the Honor events, the launch events in the UK. I look around and I see a lot of the journalists that clearly go to all the events and they're quite bored. They're doing their job and they're not that excited to be there at all, which is understandable because they go to all of them. And
it's their job.
I'm super excited about it.
Right, and because I think what happens is that at one point that starts to flip. Right, it's because for us it's cool because like when you got to go to Hawaii. For the Snapdragon thing, right? That was cool because you got to go.
Put that aside, I mean, just ones in the UK, like just an honor event in the UK. Obviously, that's still exciting for me, but the journalists there, like you say, it's their job, and
it's just like it's the same reason why you don't like going to work every day, because at some point, if that's your main thing, even if you really like what you do, I think the journalists are just like, to them, it's just a rinse and repeat, right? I mean, it's like this is my 30th. Journalism event, and I'm there to do a job, so I can't really hobnob. I gotta sit here and write this. I gotta come with that. I gotta do it. It's like,
The thing is, with my job, though, I have to pretend, right? I have to go there and be passionate and be positive, and some of them they like they really look sad to be there.
Right. Well, they probably are because they probably didn't want to go. They probably were like, to them, that's, but again, if they're, like Adam Dowd, he's a freelancer. So he's got to hustle, man. He's got to do it. And in order to do that, you have to have love and passion for it. You've got to want to do it because, and to me, I'm a different breed. I much more prefer what I do for a personal, like I'm keeping this as a side game or as a hobby or whatever. Like reviewing phones, I don't have the patience for it and doing all the stuff. And then on top of it, seriously, I'm like, nobody gives a shit what I think about this goddamn phone. Like, I don't think anybody really cares. I think some people might, maybe some people would care, but it's like, I just don't, when it comes to phones now, I just don't know if there's enough to really. They all have good cameras. They all got pretty good batteries. I mean, what can you really say about the S26? The screen's really nice. It's another Samsung. Now you could bicker about the 1200.
The differences. So one thing I felt straight away in hand is it is more rounded around the edges. So that's quite a nice difference from the S25 Ultra. It is noticeably more rounded. Which, when you hold it in your hand,
it doesn't. I mean,
it's just in your hand there. Whereas it doesn't so much
like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's much more like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's these little things that you have to talk about. I mean, I get it. It's not massive, but that's how you do the phone reviews. You just talk about the little things, but the little things add up, right? You talk about that, then the privacy display, the audio erasers had a lot more boosting as well. It's meant to be much better than it was
Right.
before. You've got that, what's it called? The stabilization thing.
Oh,
You must have seen loads of videos with that. You haven't seen that, Sam?
what, like camera
So,
stabilization?
yes, you can literally turn the phone like that, but the footage
Oh,
won't turn.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I know that's what Apple was doing
It's
with their little front selfie right there. You turned it, and then it would stay. Yeah. Again,
yeah.
that's fine. And I think there happens to be there is for I don't know, just for me, just it's never been a thing. I can't imagine doing it. God love you for going in there and having your own YouTube channel and reviewing phones because I know you
Well,
like to do it. And
that's
I
not going too
well
well at the moment, Sam. I've not made a video for over a month. I've got
well, and
one
that's
ready, but yeah, I just need to put a backing track on it that's suitable, and
yeah,
yeah, I'm struggling
and,
with that at the moment.
right, and it's because you have a young child and you have a family and you have a job and
And life gets in the way, yeah.
yeah, and also you also life gets in the way, not just your family, but the fact that you get up and today you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Like there's days I just don't want to do it. I'm like, okay.
yeah.
Whereas, but that's just a realization that I had because I've had people come up and say, "Hey, how come you're not interested in reviewing phones?" I'm like, I just don't. I might do an unboxing because that was kind of cool. Like when I get, I had the Duo, that was kind of cool. Or get a new phone, but
Mm.
how much really do anybody? And that could be a short. You have 2 minutes. You do a YouTube short. You unbox
Yeah.
the phone. This is cool. That's cool. You take it off, and that's fine. And I guess people do watch unboxing videos. I mean, that seems to be something that people
Yeah,
enjoy.
of course. I mean, with people's attention spans now, they like short form.
Yeah, but then I'll sit there and watch, then I which is not true for me because I'll watch flossy cars like Snyder Cut. It's like a 93-minute video on a phone I'm never even going to
Oh,
buy,
yeah.
and I'm just like watching it because I'm like, this is great. And you realize what I'm watching it for is I'm not watching it for the device. I'm watching it for Flossy's things that he does with the device. It's more him. I'm more of a fan of him, not necessarily the device. I could watch him review anything and just I don't like I'm not buying that thing. So and I guess that's what you get to a point where I think honestly that's what makes people come back. I don't necessarily think it's for the phone reviews or like, oh, this person's reliable. I think they're telling me the truth. I think they're all telling the truth,
Yeah, I think a large chunk of it is that like they like the reviewer.
Yeah, it's definitely the person reviewing the phone.
Yeah, the person
and their
because
approach.
yeah, definitely. It's not just. I mean, if you talked a load of rubbish, they wouldn't just follow you just because they think you're nice. There's a bit more to it, but
you
there is
definitely have to have some interest in the phone and actually know what the hell you're talking about. You can't just say a whole bunch of crazy
to a
stuff.
degree, yeah.
But
There is something in that, definitely, Sam. I think.
Yeah, I mean, people. It's to me. I don't think necessarily that phone reviews are any more informative. I really don't. I don't think there's anybody who watches phone reviews that have no idea on how phone reviews work on YouTube. Like it's clearly obvious the people who are watching reviewers, they're watching the Michael Fishers, they're watching the MKBHDs, they're watching the Adam Matlocks and Shane Craigs and watching all those folks, right? I think they're watching them because it's not because they have no idea that this phone exists or is coming out. If they're any kind of tech person that's really doing it, they've already seen a leak. They've already read about it. Hell, there's people. I do a podcast about tech, and I don't even know what's going on half the damn time. Like I don't even pay attention to it that much. Well, I'm dead serious. I'm like, and it's like.
Do you want me to tell you what some of the MWC stuff so far?
Sure. Since you've been tell me, because I have no idea.
So I haven't seen it, but I knew this was happening anyway. I've just seen a few bits and bobs. But I know Honor had a robot there. That did some dancing and a backflip and stuff like that, which is quite interesting. They had the robot phone, which you must have heard about and seen. That's been everywhere. Yeah, so they've showcased that, which apparently is going to come out in China at the end of this year. I'm not sure how many people would want that device, but it's an interesting concept. I'd love to have hands-on, have a go with it, but not sure I'd want it as my full-time phone. I'm more excited about the V6, which was also announced at MWC. Obviously, it's not going to come out in the UK quite yet. I think that's probably around July, but the V6 is even thinner again than the V5.
Is that the Honor Magic V6?
The foldable, yeah. Not the Magic
Shane Craig just did a video about it. He unboxed it and everything.
The embargo dropped obviously when after they'd done it because everyone dropped their videos. Yeah, the red one looks beautiful.
You know what's funny is that's how I really know what's happening with tech is when my YouTube channel notifications like, I'm like, oh, it's almost happening, right? Embargo's over, right? I'm seriously, but I do watch some stuff, and I do pay attention, but I just don't want. I don't have time for all that. I can't sit down and like I watch a video like when your videos come out, I watch them. I try to listen to, well, because you're my mate. Like that's what it is. Right? Yeah, and then on top of it, like when the phone show chat comes out, I try to listen to it in the car at least the next day but I have to break it up because sometimes it's a little longer than my commute. So I usually try to get to a halfway point, like 35, 40 minutes in, then I stop it, and then I pick it up on the way. Speaking of that, that'll be me tomorrow. Oh,
it will indeed, yeah.
So all you folks that listen to the phone show chat, and it's just been a cavalcade of British people. Well, you're getting an American tomorrow. So hey, guess what? So if that's not your cup of tea, right? Earl Grey.
We did have Scott Brady on there before.
Yeah, you guys have had Americans on there, but it's been, I think you've had a good
little
group,
while, yeah.
A good group of folks, and again, they're all enjoyable. I like listening to all the folks that come on the show and all the MeWe group guys. I think it's enjoyable. I love it.
Ted and Steve have built such an amazing community there, which we are also part of. So yeah, some really cool people.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. So we'll get to do that tomorrow. I'm kind of excited.
You can get a double dose of us.
Right, you're gonna get They'll be like, oh well, yeah, we're here for Ted and Joe. Same
you
thing.
Might be an overdose.
Right, I was gonna say you might hire your own supply, right? It's like okay, but Ted and well, there you go. Well, there you go. That's fine. You know what? It's said with
he's on his best behavior on PSC, I find.
Yeah, when I'm a guest on somebody else's show, I try not to be as verbose as I am. I will, but now the funny thing is, it seems like you guys get on there and now you're kind of just like let the guest kind of.
Funny enough, it's perfectly made.
I was going to drive. It's like, well, now this is great. You said
you have your platform now to do.
Get some popcorn. You got 94. You got 90 minutes. Go ahead and put your shit on mute because here it comes, right? And it's going to be right. So it's kind of funny how it works out. But yeah, and I've been on the phone show chat. This will be the third time, and so when Steve was on, I will tell you that I know Steve does not believe this probably, but I actually am a lot more metered and I do a better job on somebody else's show because I realize I'm a guest in somebody else's house, so I don't want to be.
You do a great job on this show. It's just
kicking the furniture over. Right, this is our show, right? We get on here and we let it rip a little bit, and so it's all good. Yeah, and but I promise, I'm gonna enjoy it. I've been looking forward to it, and it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So again, unfortunately, I don't know much about the WWC stuff just because I know it started because I've seen some people fly, but I thought for some reason, I don't know how it is because some shows people fly out early and then the coverage doesn't really start. It's like they get out there a day early and they kind of get situated. They have some like pre stuff and then the show officially opens on a certain day. I thought that maybe it's that way, but I don't know. And then you got IFA. I guess that's another one that comes up. I don't know. The trade shows are kind of, I'm wondering how long those are actually going to kind of last. Like, I'm really curious. And maybe like the major ones, like MWC, I think is going to stay around for a long time. Yeah. I think just because it's, and then, but I'm curious on these other ones, like, especially like the specific events, like Microsoft, Build and Google I/O and WWDC, I think will have to keep going because it's almost like a cultural phenomenon to keep going now. I'm just curious on like how the major trade shows, if they're going to continue, for the foreseeable future.
I think they will because there's an appetite for it still. So right. I think it will, but let's see. I might be wrong.
Yeah, and Ted does a great job with the MeWe, and yeah, it is a great community. It seems like a lot of proper chaps over there, and So, I don't get as much engagement as I'd like to. I'd like to get in there more often. But again, like I said, I always got something going on, and I have other things that are kind of like that I'm working on or doing, and I just don't like spending much time on there. And I'm definitely not going to get on there and have like these. There is not 100% zero chance of me ever getting on and doing this back and forth stuff, like fighting with somebody about, look, man, if you think the phone sucks, I don't give a shit. You can think it sucks.
That doesn't happen on me.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen there, but even on like online, that's why another thing is I see these creators kind of like having to defend. Like I don't care what anybody has to say about it. If you have an opinion, great. I mean, whether or not it's a very valid opinion, it's well researched, well thought of, or you're just a person that just feels a certain way. Like, hey, I feel that this 1200 charge cycle thing is a bunch of horse shit, and I don't like it, and I'm not buying a Samsung phone. They can piss off, and that's the end of the world. Hey, that's totally cool. Yeah, and then WWC is a development conference. I get it, but we can be probably fair up that it's probably really not a developers conference. It's really not that, because everybody in that place is there for hardware and devices and all this other stuff. There are not many devs.
That's the stuff that gets pressed because that's what's exciting, right? So behind the scenes there'll be some meetings.
Yeah, I realize it's a developer conference, but it's like what was the Microsoft one? Was it Microsoft? I can't remember the name, but it was supposed to be a developer conference, and there were developers there, but it's fine. It's all good. So anyways, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I just didn't watch the Samsung event. I had no interest in it.
No, I didn't either.
And I wasn't going to buy an S26
anyway.
Right,
and you sell the thing.
Right, and you're in stores, and you're a carrier. I mean, you're working in retail, so you get all the information that they would want to make sure you have, so you can tell folks. And I think it's great. I know there are things that, the 1200 charge cycles kind of sucks, but the privacy screen's good. Now, if I had an S25 Ultra, would I get an S26 Ultra? I don't know. Maybe if they give me a good deal on the trade-in, right? If I went to the carrier,
which they do in the US is very good. I've seen.
Right. Then maybe. I mean, it's not free, but it's definitely not.
I mean,
soul crushingly expensive to upgrade from the 25 to 26.
Lenny was telling us what deals he was getting. Let's quickly look back because they really were amazing, and you don't get this in the UK at all. Where is that chat? Let's have a look. So he paid $399 for a 512.
Okay, well that's really good.
He traded in S25 Ultra though, but that's pretty good. That's a big
$400 for $400. Hell yeah, that's. I mean that. Again, I think at the end of the day, if you can get that for $400, I mean, I can't complain about it. But just like anybody else, again, that to each their own, right? Some people like their S25. You know what? Honestly, does it bother you about the corner? Does it really dig into your palm as much? I've never had that problem. Maybe I'm just weird about it. Maybe I hold my phone differently than other people, but I've had phones that have that more kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's pointing, it digs my palm, but I've never held a phone that way and then go, man, it really kind of gets kind of like digs in your palm. Like it
doesn't bother me to that degree that I would,
right?
But it would be nicer to have it more rounded.
Okay,
if it had a choice,
Well, and I guess my question is the having the like boxy kind of thing. I'm wondering if that's just an aesthetic. Does it really have? Oh, good night, Steve.
Good night, Steve.
Thanks for swinging on by. Yeah, I will always have fun. Like with Ted and Joe and the MeWe group and all that, there's no way I can not have fun. I enjoy all that stuff, and I promise I will not try to go completely rogue and just
don't worry, Sam. We'll give you your time. It's all good.
The entire 90 minutes because everybody wants to hear, including me, wants to hear what Ted and Joe have to say and counterpoint it and having. I like to think of it as a discussion more than just me just riffing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, but have a good night and thank you, sir, for swinging on by. I always appreciate.
You prepared your notes yet?
No, I ain't prepared shit.
Naughty boy.
Notes. Yeah, well, I mean, problem is that's a work day for me tomorrow, so we'll see. I haven't really thought about it. I have tried to think of what I want to talk about, but I'm kind of just like I really don't. I mean, I just don't think about it beforehand. Like when I come to this show, it's like I do every time. I'm honest to God. I'm telling everybody, serious as a heart attack. I like 5 minutes before the show, I actually hit the go live button. I really don't think about really what we're going to talk about, unless the only thing I thought about is, well, I know the S26 came out, so people have been chatting about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just yeah. Is the show going live again? Oh, you guys, okay, so what was that? I saw that there was a, like, how did that go? Did that go pretty well? I didn't have a chance to listen
well,
but
let's put it this way. If
people really engage,
one really nice chap popped in, a fan, and if he hadn't, we would have been Billy No Mates, which would have been fine. We would have just cracked on anyway.
You have been,
but
you've been what?
Really,
you have been what? What did you just
Billy
say?
No Mates.
What the hell? What is that? I've never heard that before. Is that just you by yourself? Is that when you by yourself?
Yeah. If you think about the term "no mates" at the end, that makes.
Well, yeah, I thought it made. Yeah, but why Billy? Why can't it be Roger No Mates or Nigel No Mates?
I didn't make the term up. I'd have to look that up, mate.
Well, you need to look it up, because then I don't know. There's a lot of Billys in the UK, because I don't know about. There's a shit ton of Nigels.
Should we ask Jim and I on there?
Did you actually? It didn't.
Should I try that?
Yeah, you should try it. Why is it called Billy No Mates?
Why is it called Billy No Mates?
It is British slang for a person with no friends. The name Billy was likely chosen for its simple alliteration and commonality, turning a generic name into a label for social isolation. Would you like to know?
No, that's enough, Gemma. Thanks.
That is fucking. Sorry. Right. I thought of Nigel No Mates. There you go. Billy No Mates. Well, the funny thing is, I did have to explain to my bosses what a no-kit wanker was. That was an awkward conversation.
Oh, Uncle, you've heard that one, haven't you, as well?
No, I said it, and they were like, "What the hell is that?" And like, it was like that when you said to me, it just kind of read. It was like, "Did you say Billy No Mates?" And I knew what it meant. I was like, "That just means you got no friends. You're just by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you're that dude going to a movie by yourself. You don't have any, proper mates." I get it, but it's like, why is it Billy No Mates as opposed to Joe No Mates, or Steve No Mates, or Ted No Mates, or I don't know. I just, why Billy? I don't know many. You know how many Billys you know in the UK? Is that really a William? I guess they call him William, right? But would you call him Billy or Bill or Willie? Like, what would you?
Well, my middle name's called William, actually. One of my middle names.
Oh, you got more. Or you got. Oh, that's right. You got more. You have more than one. Yeah. Oh, is it like a family thing, or is it just? Is it like?
It's actually. It's like both my granddads. Neither of I've ever met, and both sadly passed away as well.
Oh, that sucks. So you didn't get a chance to meet the namesake.
No. Well, my mum's dad passed away before I was born. And my dad's dad, my dad didn't even see him, let alone me.
Right.
So yeah.
So it's Joe, William, Nigel, Sean. Oh, okay.
Yeah. SEAN, Sean Hickey.
Oh yeah, not like Shaun of the Dead, more like SEAN. Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Joe,
enough,
is it William Sean Hickey or is it Sean William Hickey?
Joseph William Sean.
Okay, Joseph William Sean. Hickey. Okay, cool. It's cool.
So I'm actually doing, Ancestry.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, well, do you have is it the same company or is it a different company? Ancestry.com.
Yeah, same company. So I got the kit for Christmas for my mum, and I had to spit in the pot and send it off.
I thought I don't know if it was spit in a pot or they swab like a buccal swab or something.
It was you spit in a pot and then you put a solution in it and then you shake it and send it back. Lovely.
Sounds weird. At least you didn't have to do like the COVID test. You didn't have to shove that.
Oh, that was horrible, wasn't it?
The buckle, that swab up into your like fucking skull. It's like you scrape the underside of your. Here's the funny thing. Fun fact: I never got COVID the entire time. Never once.
Neither did I.
Well,
at least I didn't think I did.
Yeah, I think I might have got it, but it had like the asymptomatic where I was exposed.
You
and
was
maybe
the
got
carrier.
Kind of well, or they have like what was that movie with? It was World War Z where the kid was it like there was like he was immune to it, naturally immune to it, and everybody else and they got all fucked up and they turned into zombies and he was just like, oh, I'm just a dude. And they took his blood and tried to find an antigen and that's cool. So Bob's your uncle. Yeah, that's right. Bobby no friends. Bobby no mates. That would be funnier. The Irish way. I don't.
Yeah, Sean spelt that way, SEAN.
Oh, that's the Irish way to spell it, as opposed to the WN, which is more of an anglicized. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I only have one middle name, so.
Yeah, what is it?
It's Joshua. It's lame. Actually, the reason why it's Joshua is because my mother wanted to call me that. That was what she wanted to name. Okay. But Unfortunately, my grandfather was still alive. He died in 70. I was born in 75, so I was only a year and a half old when he passed away. So I don't remember him. But apparently when my mom was pregnant, he had asked her, because he was already he had died of lung cancer because he was a smoker and Italian and that kind of stuff. And then they didn't really care about health back then in the mid 70s. So by the time I was born, he was already starting to his health was not great. And he had talked to my mom. He said, hey, I just have one thing I'd ask you. If you do have a son, obviously, because at this time they didn't have gender reveal parties. It's the mid 70s.
No.
Right?
I mean, we didn't do that ourselves.
I don't even think they could even know the gender. I don't even know when ultrasound was even a thing. Probably maybe the 80s. I don't know. Anyway, so he said, if you have a son, can you do me a favor? Can you name him after me? And my mom said, sure, Pop, no problem. I'll do that. So actually, the funny fact is my grandfather was not Samuel. He was just Sam. Sam. And he was Sam Joseph Ventimiglia. My mom really didn't like the Joseph name. She said, well,
it's a great name.
Well, I thought so too. Yeah, exactly. But he's Sam Joseph, not Samuel Joseph. And so my mom said, okay, well, so she named me Samuel, which I don't know why, but instead of doing the Joseph thing, which I don't know how it works, because I know if your dad is named the same, you're a second or a junior, but if it's your grandfather, I don't think it's the same. Anyway, fun fact. But she was like, she was going to call me. So that's how she worked in the Joshua part. She was like, okay, well, I'll name him Sam, but his middle name will be Joshua. So that's why it is. And I know a lot of mates that I have, they go by their middle names. I just can't imagine being called Josh. That's weird. I know a lot of mates I know, a lot of my friends, they go by their middle name. You could be Sean, which, I guess that you pick either one. I don't know. I know in the United States, a lot of people go by their middle name that I know. And I guess it's just because they don't like it. Like my buddy's name his first name is actually Charles. So it's Charles Anthony but I've never known him by Charles. And actually he hates being called Charles. Like it pisses him off. So he's just known as Tony. Like he's always been known as Tony, and that's his name. And that's pretty much, but officially his name is Charles Anthony, last name.
This is an interesting subject, actually. When we think about tech, right? That's changed how people name their children. Like people look up popular names and look up things. So like, I mean, Saoirse, we looked up and we know it means freedom. And that's another element.
But I'm curious why, because that's kind of an Irish name.
It is an Irish name, yeah. My surname's Irish, Hickey.
Right, but but your wife, I don't think she's Irish, right? Or it has any Irish.
No.
So I'm curious, like, how did that happen? Did you think of, like, when it came to my daughter's name, like Anna, when I was married to my ex-wife, I let her pick the name.
Yeah.
She picked Anna, which is fine. And I wanted a classical name. I didn't want to, because I know a lot in the early 2000s, I don't know, maybe this is an American thing, maybe not a British thing. People are trying to come up with these other kind of names that are a little bit, not Saoirse, because Saoirse is established, but I'm talking like taking two names that don't really, like, they're kind of wild, right? And they're kind of like crazy names. I'm curious that, like, did you guys have a discussion about it, or is it like,
oh yeah, of course, yeah,
one of you said Saoirse and you're like, that's cool, we're just going with that, we're done, this conversation's over. It took 5 minutes.
Kind of, when we said Saoirse, that did hit us both, and we're like, yeah, that's the one. We both liked it, but we was looking at all different names. At one point, obviously, male and female.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna. Did you know her gender beforehand, or are you just one of those people?
Yeah, we did at a point. At a point, yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We decided to know
with Anna. My ex-wife and I talked about it. We're like, nope, we're just gonna be surprised. We have because honestly, if Anna were born a boy, she'd probably have been Sam.
I mean, the only thing is, it's not Sam much of a surprise though. It's like there's one or the other.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, it's not it came out. Oh, look, it's a monkey.
It's a dinosaur.
Right. Right. Yeah, I get it. No, it's. But no, but did you had a male? But you knew. But like I said,
we knew. We had an extra scan as well. We had like a 3D scan done.
My ex-wife and I did not do that. We were just like, we're gonna go old school. Like we'll just, whoever comes out, if she's got the, if she's got the or she's got the it's cool, whatever. And we had a name. So basically,
you had a name ready for both.
Well, I mean, if Anna was a boy, she would have been Samuel Joshua Ventimiglia Jr.
Yeah.
Period. That would have been that was already decided. She was be a Sam, and then she'd be Sammy, and I'd be Sam. Right. So
you could have still done Sammy.
No, I think I don't think she wanted to do. I don't think. Well, to be fair, and I'm trying to be as gracious to my ex-wife as I can be. I don't think she really wanted Sam even as a boy name. I think she was kind of like just. It makes sense. So, and she came with, and now she wanted to name her. My ex-wife's last middle name is Elise, Elise. And she wanted to do Anna Elise. I'm like, I didn't really like that. And I know why she wanted to tie it together. So that's why her middle name's Elizabeth. So that way it's like Elise, but it's not the same. Because I just think it's stupid that you'll be, Heather Elise and she's Anna Elise. It's just kind of goofy. It sounds goofy. So I came up with Elizabeth, and my ex-wife thought, okay, that's acceptable. Because then it should be Anna, Annie, Annabeth, Beth, whatever. She calls herself Anne, Anne. I don't know why. Don't really care. Because it's funny because when I'm her dad, I tell you, like, you mean Anna? She goes, oh, you mean Anne? I go, who's Anne? Oh, that's Anna. I was like, I asked her, like, what the fuck is that about? And she's like, I don't know, Dad. I just don't like Anna. I just like Anne. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, it's just curious. I guess, do people really? I get. You didn't look at like the most popular names in the UK, right? You just like how did you come up with search? I just looked for Irish names and thought.
We was looking at Irish names, yeah.
Okay. Because you got some other names that are like I still think of the
they're hard to pronounce, aren't they? You have to.
Well, Saoirse Ronan went on Colbert's show, and she's like, some of them are guys' names, right? So
yeah,
but one was like Quava, but it looked like Caiome. It looked like, I'm like, dude, Irish names are like the way they're. Quave, yeah, I guess I don't know how to say it, but it like when you look at the way it's spelled, and then when they actually say it, you're like, there would be no chance in hell I would have ever like Siobhan. I know it's it looks like Neve Sioban. It looks like Sioban, but it's really Siobhan. Siobhan. Yeah, I get it. But some of them are like really like, how did you? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
that word come from this. Like, it has no chance of. I can't sound that out, at the end of the day. So,
I mean, that's what I like it, and Saoirse likes it, I think, as well.
Hi, I chose two of my kids' names, and one of them was me. I think she was controlling you. Think it's okay? I mean, who, my ex? Oh, you. So is that Muhammad? Is that question for me? Was she controlling me? And the answer is, if it was my ex-wife, 100%. Do I think it's okay? I don't really care. I mean, Anna's a good name. I liked it. Anna's a good name, and I wanted more traditional names. However, and now with the other side, with Caitlin, it's different because her name is actually two names kind of combined into like two family names combined. So that's kind of cool. So it's really kind of, but the only problem is it makes it kind of unique. So, obviously you don't, but it's weird because I think when Becky did it back in 2001, it wasn't a kind of name because it was two family names like kind of blended together. It kind of, nobody else had it because it's kind of unique, right? But I've noticed that other, just like, and Sam became a popular name in the United States. And like, I don't know how, there's a lot of kids, right? Yeah. And like, there's not many kids in the mid 70s who are named Sam just because it wasn't a popular name. But I noticed that a lot of one of the ladies that I work with, she's a manager. She named her third son Sam. And it had nothing to do with me, obviously. It was just like, I was like, really? She goes, yeah. She goes, it's a good name. I was like, I guess. I don't, it's just, I'm so used to it. I don't really know.
I mean, there is trends, aren't there?
For you. If you're, just whatever, man. I mean, here's the thing. You realize that your kids, as they get older, and I don't know how old Muhammad's children are, so I apologize. But once they get to be like in their like teenage years or their 20s, I mean, like I said, I have a lot of friends guy friends, especially. It wasn't so much the women because I know women don't seem to do that, but guys, especially, they just go by their middle name. So it's like they just go by whatever name they want.
We don't in the UK, or some people do. The only reason they do that is often if their name is the same as their dad's.
Oh,
yeah,
right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so if it's the same as your dad's, you're gonna want to be different slightly, aren't you? So you go by your middle name.
Because then your mom, hey Joe, and they're both you turn like what? And you're like, no, the other Joe, not you, Joe. Well, and the funny thing is everybody thinks that Denzel Washington's name is Denzel. It's actually Denzel.
Denzel,
and the reason why that her mom he got to be called Denzel is because when they would say Denzel, they would both turn and look at their mom and their wife, right? They would know. So he was just called Denzel, and that's actually not how you say his name. It's actually Denzel Washington. He's a junior, actually.
Yeah.
She chose two of my ex, and I chose one. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's controlling. I think some people really, when it comes to naming of children, some people are really like intense about like what they want, and some people just kind of aren't. I was just like, look, I it was a good name. I liked it. I just thought Elise didn't work for me. And I just said, hey, how about Elizabeth? And that kind of worked. And with Saoirse, you guys both talked about it. But I think at the end of the day, if your wife says, nope, not doing any of that, we're going to name her Lilith or whatever, you probably would have been like, unless you had real aversion to the name. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be an agreement.
I mean, unless you had a real aversion to the name for some reason, I think you'd be like, well, I really don't care.
It is a big thing. It's because it's something you're going to have to say a lot.
Right. It? And look at us. We have not even, we like completely went off the range. Like folks, honestly, other than really MWC starting and the S26, there's really not a lot going on right now. I mean, we haven't got Apple. Oh, the V6. It looks great. Like, dude, I would rock the shit out of that phone.
6,600 milliamp hour battery. In a foldable device.
Do you still have one of the Vs? I thought you had a V5.
I've got the V5 still. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking about? Well, I don't know. I mean, depends on
the V6 comes. I'd love to get one. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's coming to UK, right? It's not coming to UK.
Not yet. No, V6. July.
Well, I don't know. I mean, but you really
as far as I know, it's July.
I think the V5 is a pretty good device. But I mean, do you think the V6 is a better upgrade? Can you actually trade that in? Like, how does that work? Or you have to sell it?
Well, no, because I got it from Honor, so I can't trade it in.
Oh, well, and are they letting you keep that? I thought they were letting you keep that, right? Or
that wasn't what they said, but I mean, I'm not going to say anything and see what happens.
Right. But they'd be like, if you don't, but you don't want to trade it and go, hey, and they're like, hey, that V5 we have back. Yeah, funny story. I traded that fucker off. I got a V6.
V5?
It died. It got. My dog ate it like my homework.
Yeah.
I just put it down. Do you have a dog? No, I don't. I chewed on it. No, I just.
My daughter.
Yeah, Saoirse just went. You know what? Kind of busted in half.
Which has happened to a friend of ours from the Tech Disruptors.
Yeah, and he may talk about it. And as a matter of fact, you know what I'm thinking, Joe? I'm thinking I need to pop over there. I think we're going to end a little early today. I think I want to try to get in there because they got a lot going on, and they're and so for folks of you who don't know, we have a couple of other mates that we really love, the Tech Disruptors. It's Jason and Darren, and Darren actually wrote a novel, believe it or not. So he's I don't know how you publish that now, because I think Amazon actually publishes books. You can do all sorts of crazy shit now. I haven't had a chance to read it. I'm going to try to read it and see how it is, but it looks like a pretty good story. I'm not really a novel writer. I don't really read a lot of fiction, but I mean, shit, I might give it a try. And then it's one of our mates, right? Darren, he probably is a pretty good writer. And even if it sucks, I didn't pay for it. So even if I don't like it, I can read a book.
You got to show support, haven't you?
Absolutely, because I mean, I can't imagine writing a novel. It just it looks incredible. Just to come up with a story and write it all down, it looks kind of bonkers. So
I don't really like reading. I'll have to get someone an audiobook version or get AI to read it for me.
I was going to offer Darren for me to do it if you want an audio version. I was going to try to do the voice acting and the reading. I'd really like to do that. I'm sure it's difficult because you got to read chapter after chapter, and then you have to the characters, and you have to kind of right, But I'm curious, some of those audiobooks that I like on Audible. Some of those, one of my favorites is Ray Porter. He really does a great job on some of them. And I'm curious, like what that world looks like voice acting or reading audiobooks. I'm curious how that works. I've always been curious to. I don't know, something fun to do. So, yep. And next week is the 160th episode of the Nomad Tech. I know, right? We just keep showing up and keep dumping this shit in your ears, right? I mean, it's terrible.
If Adichie was here, he'd say, "Oh, that's close to Sam's age."
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's 160,000th episode. Yeah, he's from the Stone Age, right? But yes, 160 is next week. We're not doing anything special. We're just going to keep it moving. But yeah, I mean, this is literally the 160th tomorrow.
In a flossy there. Keep it moving.
Just keep it moving, man. Like I said, and 160 episodes, and I'm going to tell you, the good news is me and Joe still love doing them. The bad news is we haven't gotten much better since episode number 1 or 5. So
well, I have, because I just
Joe has gotten a lot better. Like me, I've just kind of sucked and stayed on a kind of suck trajectory pretty much for the entirety of it. I will tell you though,
I suck as much as you. I'm there. I suck
right. Me and Joe now basically me and Joe have like achieved optimal matched suckage. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, let's not say that too much because it sounds awful.
that's a good name for a metal band. Optimal match suckage. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, not one I would want to be in.
Anyway. But yeah, so next week is 106th episode. We're going to try to get a guest. We need to reach out to Jermaine. I'm going to try. I actually reached out to the captain, but he didn't get back to me, and we're kind of busy. He's busy, you know. I mean, obviously, he's not just sitting around waiting for us to come on this fucking travesty of a podcast. But anyway, it's whatever. So yeah, next week episode. Yeah, a 160th episode of this crap. That I think is exactly. That's pretty much what we're going to call the episode. The 160th episode of crap. I love that. And we'll see. And worst case, Jimmy, if we'll bring you on and we'll just do it, mate. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I don't have no guests lined up, but we're going to try to see if we can reach out to a couple of. I know Jermaine's busy. I know the captain. He was doing a PC build. That's why he couldn't come on last month because he's building a rig. So maybe we'll see what's going on and we'll see how it goes. But for myself and for Joe, anything, Joe, you want to? Oh, you got your hoodie on with the Arsenal. They won today, by the way. Was it Chelsea? They played Chelsea, right?
2-1, back to 5 points clear at the top. Yep. Yeah,
they're game in hand, but they're down a game in hand to Man United, right?
Man City. Oh, well, and everyone else, basically, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious. So, like, is that how I wonder? I guess it just was based on the schedule. That's how they get behind on games.
Yeah, because Man City's got one that needs to be arranged against Crystal Palace. So that will slot in at some
Crystal Palace isn't very good, right? They're not great.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the best. Yeah, they're not terrible, but they're not.
I guess my question is, I've heard them. Have they ever been? Are they kind of one of those teams that are not very? They're kind of just perennially just like a meh kind of team. I never. Yeah,
they're established as a Premiership side, and they're obviously a London club. So.
Okay. I was going to ask where they're out of, but it's a London club. Okay.
Yeah, it's a London club. Yeah, South London. Okay. Yeah, they're a nice club. I like Crystal Palace because my uncle, who made me an Arsenal fan, when I asked him who would your second team be, he said Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Really? Okay. I think it's a cool name. I like it. What is their surname? Like, what's their team?
Look up
name?
Crystal Palace. Look it up. You'll see the history of. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
I think you like history, so I think you would enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, especially I just think the name's kind of cool, but I also know that enough of like I don't think they've ever been really that good. They've always been kind of like a middle to lower team.
You've heard of Ian Wright, haven't you?
Yes, I have. That name I actually know.
Yeah, so Ian Wright we got from Crystal Palace.
Okay.
So there's some fondness from the fact that we got Ian Wright from there, and Eze we got now, English player. Eberiche Eze we got from Crystal Palace recently as well.
Cool.
That's a boring transfer news.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, check us out next week. We episode 160. Joe and I'll be there. It'll be a good time. You should check it out tomorrow if you want. I think they're doing the same PSC chat link thing. You can come on there.
Not tomorrow.
No. Okay, not tomorrow. So it's just going to be.
It's all yours, Sam.
That's great. So it's all me. Oh boy, hang on, folks.
Plus, we're going later than planned anyway. So
right. So it's going to be weird. So anyway, but anyway, check it out. And hey, Simon, sir, happy Saint Todd.
So just on that, right? Do you want to know what that is?
I guess it's the anniversary of the team's formation.
It's when mathematically Tottenham can't finish above us for the season. So yeah, but. So like it was always going to happen anyway because we're at the top and
I was gonna say you guys are like way at the top and they're probably struggling near mid or bottom, whatever. But anyway,
it's the point where if we lost all our games
and they won every game, they still couldn't overtake you.
They still couldn't overtake us.
That's today. Well, congratulations, Mars first. The Tottenham Spurs are kind of fucked. Anyway,
quickly before we go, what's funny on that as well is Spurs are actually only 5 points, I think it is, above the relegation zone. So yeah, they're not in a good position. They lost today to Fulham. They're not in a good place. And and they've paid a lot of money for a big stadium. So that would be so funny to see them go down.
The Champions League. Let's hope
The
not. I like this.
Yeah.
Let's hope that does not happen, because especially if you're a Spurs fan, probably a thing.
No, I want it to happen.
Okay, well, Joe wants to happen because I know the Spurs are Arsenal's rival. So
they'll come back up. It's fine.
Fuck
it's
the Spurs. Funny. You can spend a year in the championship. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for myself and for Joe Hickey, thank you for tuning into the Nomad Tech Project, episode 159. We'll be back next Sunday for the Nomad Tech Project 160, and nothing special. We're just gonna hang out and do this stuff. Maybe we'll have some tech talk. Maybe we won't talk sport or food or takeaways or Chinese or whatever.
Who knows?
Probably not. About who knows?
Actually, I'm gonna give you a few ideas for it.
Okay.
Week.
Yeah, sounds good. We're in. So for myself, for Joe, we're going to jump over to the Tech Disruptors. If you want to listen to more of this horse shit, jump over there, check those guys out. And again, Screen on Time YT. Check that out. It's scene.co.uk.
My review of this will be coming very shortly.
Absolutely. Skin your shit. Enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick. Check us over at the Tech Disruptors. And we love you guys. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.